So in this video, I'm going to go over a double strand rappel. The setup again assumes that you already know how to build off your anchors and you've already done your safety checks on your harness. So we're going to go ahead and explain what's happening in this setup. One thing you want to note when you're doing a double strand, you're going to be tying a figure eight on a bight, probably close to the middle of your rope, or in at least a spot where you know both ends of your rope will be able to fall down and touch the ground. You can see here I've got the figure eight on a bight already tied in. Just like before on the single strand, only this time we're going to actually be using our ATC device, and we're going to be hooking both strands in through our ATC device. And then you can see in this setup that I've got the ATC device in the high braking position, so I've actually made the bucket on my carabiner go up to the ATC device so I don't have too much friction. That's something you can just play around with as you go. But you can see here I've got my belay carabiner also hooked in on a piece of webbing that is attached to my belay loop on my harness. When we're looking at this configuration, there's a couple ways that you can tie in to test it out. Again, for this one, I'm going to use a wrap around the leg and explain how to do it that way, and we'll go from there. So in this setup again, we've got our figure eight on a bight dropped into our anchor. We've got our ATC device hooked in both ends of the rope into our belay carabiner that's on an extension attached to our belay loop. And instead of attaching a friction hitch this time, what I've actually done is I've taken the braking rope and I've actually wrapped it around my leg about 3 times. You could always do it more, but this way you can actually sit back and be able to test your system that way. Again, one thing you want to make sure that if you are going to be testing your system out, that you always close it off, and you close that off on your braking rope by tying in an overhand on a bight. So you would tie in an overhand on a bight here, and then you can test your system out, make sure it's working. And then once you've tested it out and you know everything's safe, you are good to start rappelling, and you can always just wrap or unwrap the rappel rope as needed around your leg if you really need to sit down, take a break, or just check things out in general. So that's how to rappel on a double strand.